Selection tools in Photoshop are some of the most frequently used tools. We're going to look at two standard selection tools today, one called Quick Selection and one called Magic Wand. So Quick Selection allows you to analyse an area that you've selected, and then it analyses it based on its pixel colour, tone and texture, and allows us to then select that and then cut it out for use in your digital graphic. So for example, if I want to add a butterfly onto my Daisies digital graphic, if I go onto the internet and find one I like this one, I'm just going to save it into my folder, give it a sensible name. There we go, I've saved that. In Photoshop, I'm going to open it, so I want it as a separate file. I don't want to do the work on it on here, I want to do it separately. So remember, File and Open. There it is. And it's opened on a new tab. Remember, the other one is already there, it's just on a different tab. So I want to cut out this butterfly to use on my Daisies digital graphic. So the first thing I'm going to do is find the tool. So it's under here. If I click and hold down this fourth tool down here, it's called the Quick Selection tool. So I need to hold my left mouse button down to find that, and then keep it held to select it, and then let go. Now I can change the width of the size of the selection that I'm doing. You see, if I make it like that, you can see it becomes a massive area with the mouse. I don't want it that big because the butterfly is quite delicate. I probably want it quite small to be able to select the areas I want. There's other things I can change, but that's basically the main thing I want to change on here. So I'm literally going to click and left click on my mouse and hold it down and drag my mouse over the areas of the butterfly that I want to select. You have to be quite delicate with it. Now I'm going to deliberately do something wrong. Look what happens if I accidentally come off the butterfly. Oh dear, I've got too much. If you make a mistake, simply press the Control button on the keyboard, which is CTRL. So hold that down, and whilst that's held down, press the D key once, and then let go of both of them, and that will deselect, and you can try it again. So once you've tried it again and you've selected the area that you want to cut out, you then use the Move tool up here. I'm going to click on that, and you'll see that your mouse changes to a pointer and a pair of scissors. So I'm literally going to click on the top of my butterfly there because that's the shape that I want to cut out. I'm going to grab that. You can see it's got the whole outline, and I'm keeping my left mouse button held down. I'm dragging over the top of my digital graphic over here. Moving my mouse here, it's still held down, and then when I let go of my mouse, it puts it on the front of my digital graphic there. And that has put it as a brand new layer in the Layers panel. So I can then name my layer. I'm going to call it Butterfly 1, in case I decide to put another one in. I can then do things like resize it in the normal way, which we'll look at on another video. The next tool we're going to look at is called the Magic Wand tool. That is again the fourth tool down. If you click and hold, you'll see that it's there, Magic Wand tool. It's very similar to the Quick Selection, but it only analyses the area selected based on pixel colour and tone, not the texture. Now to do it, it's very similar again to the Quick Selection. You literally hold down your left mouse button, drag it out. But if you want to select more than one area, you can choose to use the Shift key as well. So for example, I can click and select that, hold down Shift on my keyboard and select that. And you can try and select as much as you want. So that would give me the outline of my daisy. Now, this is actually quite a tricky image to cut out, purely because the middle bit, there's lots of different textures, and so using the magic wand is quite tricky on this one. If you just do it based on the pixel colour and tone, if I click, you can see that it's getting the large majority of it. It's actually fine for what I need it for anyway. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So once you're happy with what you've got, let's say you're happy with that, that's a quick job, but you get the idea. I'm then going to use the Move tool again, and of course my cursor turns to a pair of scissors. So I'm going to click and drag that over the top of my digital graphic, and I'm going to put it here. There we go. I'm going to move that slightly so the butterfly's there. Now I'm going to name the layer of that. I'm going to call it main daisy. Now I want my butterfly sitting on top of it, so I'm just going to click on my butterfly layer and click and drag it above the daisy, and what you'll see is that it appears on there. So I'm going to now move it so it covers up that patch. So you can be really creative with how you use your graphics, but make sure that the image you're choosing is suitable for the use of what you're doing. And it might be that it takes you a while to find an image that is suitable and allows you to do what you need to do. But that's how you use the quick selection tool and the magic wand tool.